Hello my people, FinerBub here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're talking about hiking Anthony's Nose in New York's Hudson Highlands State Park, another short and easy day hike within driving distance of New York City. Throughout the video, I'll cover the basic info that I think you need to know if you plan to visit the area yourself, and towards the end I'll compare this hike to a few other options in the area so that you can get a feel for whether or not it might be a good option for you. But before we get into that, just a little tidbit for those of you who don't know. On this channel, I'm all about sharing my thoughts and experience on the best spots to check out and the best gear to bring with. So if, like me, you'd like to spend more time outside appreciating the finer things in life, do yourself a favor and consider subscribing. Also, feel free to check out the description below for links to any of the gear or hiking information resources I mention. Alrighty then, without further ado, let us begin.
I want to see mountains again! Mountains!
FinerBub. So, back in October, my wife and I drove up to New York's Hudson Highlands State Park for a short day hike up to Anthony's Nose. We started our day here, at the Anthony's Nose trailhead on Bear Mountain Beacon Highway in Garrison, New York. The plan was to hike up to the ridgeline along this half-mile section of the Appalachian Trail, before turning right at the top and following the ridgeline to go check out the view from the Anthony's Nose lookout point. Despite covering a short distance over pretty mild terrain, this first section will definitely get your heart pumping, since, like most hikes in the Hudson Valley, you're basically tackling all the elevation in one fell swoop. However, the trail does start to flatten out once you reach the ridgeline. After a little over half a mile, you'll reach an intersection where you can take a quick detour up to the top. However, the view is much better from the cliffside, and I wouldn't say that you're missing much by skipping the peak altogether. But this is a pretty short hike, so feel free to wander as you please. We hiked this trail on a weekend, so it was pretty crowded once we got to the top. However, despite the crowds, we were able to find a nice secluded patch of rock where we stopped to take in the view of the Hudson River and Bear Mountain on the opposite facing shoreline. And after some water and snacks, we left the cliffside and headed back down to the car. So, what are my thoughts about this hike? Well, the first thing I'd note is how incredibly short it is. I'll leave a link to our All Trails map in the description where you can find details about how long everything took us, but all that really matters is that we hiked this trail very slowly and still made it back to the car in under 2 hours. That being said, Hudson Highlands State Park has a ton of interconnected trails which allow you to lengthen your day as you see fit, but when we were there, we were hiking with a few beginners who weren't up for much more than what we ended up doing. If you're looking for a slightly longer day hike in the same area, feel free to check out last week's video about hiking the sub 5 mile Bear Mountain Loop, which is, as I mentioned, right across the river. And just so you know, I'm working on a couple more videos covering hikes at both Breakneck Ridge and Mount Beacon, two great hiking areas within Hudson Highlands State Park that are both about 20 minutes upstream of Anthony's Nose and Bear Mountain State Park. So if you're interested, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post those videos. And that's really all there is to it. All in all, I'd say Anthony's Nose is for anyone looking for something short with a great view that still helps you break a sweat, especially beginner hikers and families with kids. And given its close proximity to New York City, it's a good excuse to get out of town even if it's only for half a day. So there you have it, folks. I'd like to wish a very warm welcome to those of you who are new to the channel. If this is the first video of mine that you've seen, I just want to let you know that I also make gear review videos in addition to the location guides like this one. Speaking of which, I recently released a video listing all of the gear that I personally like to take on a day hike. So if you're curious about some of the gear that I brought on this hike, or you just want to learn about some more exciting new places, via yours truly, I'll leave some links down below that should suit you quite nicely. Alrighty, my people, that concludes today's episode of the FinerBub Show. If you've already been to Anthony's Nose or New York's Hudson Highlands State Park, or if you're thinking about checking either of them out for the first time, I'd love to have you comment below, especially if you think your insight can help me disprove something that I think I already know. But before you do, I just want to once again thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're planning your next trip or looking for new gear, don't let the small details stress you out. Remember, life's an adventure, so relax, breathe in the outdoors, and don't forget to appreciate the finer things in life. See you out there, people. Peace.